much of human behavior is actually parasites do the talking? Well, learn from this video. I'll tell you all about it. Which of these entities has evolved the ability to manipulate an animal many times its size? The answer is all of them. These are all parasites, organisms that live on or inside another host organism, which they harm or sometimes even kill. Parasite survival depends on transmitting from one host to the next, sometimes through an intermediate species. Our parasites illegally achieve this by manipulating the host's behavior, sometimes through direct brain hijacking. For example, this is the Gordian worm. One of this hosts, this cricket. The Gordian worm needs water to mate, but the cricket prefers dry land. So once it's big enough to reproduce, the worm produces proteins that garble the cricket's navigational system. The confused cricket jumps around erratically, moves closer to water, and eventually leaps in, often drowning in the process. The worm then wriggles out to mate, and its eggs get eaten by little water insects. And mature, colonize land, and in turn, eaten by new crickets, and thus the Gordian worm lives on. And here's the rabies virus, another mind-altering parasite. This virus affects mammals, often dogs, and travels up the animal's nerves to its brain, which causes inflammation and eventually kills the host. But before it does, it often increases its host's aggressiveness and ramps up the production of rabies-transmitting saliva while making it hard to swallow. These factors make the host more likely to bite another animal and more likely to pass the virus on when it does. And now meet Ophiocordyceps, also known as the zombie fungus. Its host of choice is tropical ant, which normally lives in treetops. When Ophiocordyceps spores pierce the ant's exoskeleton, it causes conjunctions, which makes the ant fall from the tree. The fungus changes the ant's behavior, compelling it to wander mindlessly until it stumbles onto a plant leaf with the perfect fungal breeding conditions, which it latches onto. The ant then dies, and the fungus parasitizes its body to form a long, thin stalk from its neck. Within several weeks, the stalk shoots out spores that eventually makes more ants into six-legged, leaf-seeking zombies. One of humanity's most deadly assailants is a behavior-altering parasite. So isn't any consolation, it's not our brains that are being hijacked. I'm talking about Plasmodium, which causes malaria. This parasite needs mosquitoes to shuttle between hosts, which makes them bite more frequently and for longer. There's also evidence that humans affected with malaria are more attracted to mosquitoes, which will bite them and transport the parasite further. This multi-species system is so effective that there are hundreds of millions of malaria cases every year. And finally, there are cats. Don't worry, there probably aren't any cats living in your body and controlling your thoughts. I mean, probably. But there is a microorganism called Toxoplasma that needs both cats and rodents to complete its life cycle. When a rat gets infected by eating cat feces, the parasite changes chemical levels in the rat's brain, making it less conscious against the hungry felines, maybe even attracted to them. This makes them easy prey. So these infected rodents get eaten and pass the parasites on. Mind control successful. There's even evidence that the parasite affects human behavior. In most cases, we don't completely understand how these parasites manage the feats of behavior modification. But from what we do know, we know that they have a pretty diverse toolbox. Gordian worms seem to affect crickets' brains directly. The malaria virus, on the other hand, blocks the enzyme that helps the mosquitoes feed, forcing them to bite over and over again. The rabies virus may cause that snarling, slobbering behavior by blocking the immune system into overdrive. But whatever the method, when we think about how these parasites manage the behavior of their hosts, we may wonder how much of human behavior is actually parasites doing the talking. This is more than half of the species on Earth are parasites, and maybe more than you think. So today, I told you about parasites and many other viruses. So watch out for parasites when you're walking or hiking. So today, I told you about parasites, and if you learned many things, I'll come back with many fun videos. Bye-bye, friends. See you next time.